my adolescence, at the age of 13, my parents decided to embark on a captivating trip to Mexico. We were accompanied by my 3 younger siblings. It started as a remarkable journey, one that unfolded on a moonlit night. We cruised along a picturesque highway in the state of Guanajuato. However, our tranquil drive took an alarming turn when I noticed an imposing Chevrolet van trailing closely behind us for too long. Feeling a sudden surge of fear welling up within me, I asked my father to allow the mysterious vehicle to overtake us, to pass. Sensing the distress in my voice, my father promptly maneuvered our rental car to the side, granting passage to the van. To my surprise, the van mirrored our actions and pulled over behind us, its driver emerging into the night, brandishing a menacing stick. Realizing the gravity of the situation, my father swiftly instructed us all to seek refuge by crouching down in our seats. With determination etched on his face, he accelerated the car. It propelled us forward with an unwavering determination towards the nearest town. A mere 5 miles away, but it sure felt like forever. Despite our desperate attempts to flee this car, the relentless van quickly closed the distance, this time shrouded in darkness as it extinguished its headlights. Our Buick, pushed to its limits, valiantly persevered, propelling us toward the sanctuary of a nearby hotel. As we approached the hotel's entrance, my father unleashed a cacophony of urgent honks, piercing the nighttime silence. Miraculously, the van, sensing our determination and the prospect of intervention, relinquished its pursuit. It receded into the shadows and disappeared from sight. Overwhelmed by the intensity of the encounter, my father sought solace from the empathetic hotel clerks. It was then that my parents were enlightened about the distressing prevalence of local kidnappings in the area. These encounters usually involve perpetrators who would cunningly disable their headlights, force unsuspecting vehicles off the road, and abduct the occupants at gunpoint. In retrospect, my father revealed to me that the stick that was wielded by the driver was in fact a disguised rifle, adding an additional layer of terror to our already traumatic ordeal. It suddenly became clear why he'd instructed all of us to duck. Several years ago, I took a trip to Wyoming. I initially considered the idea of relocating and settling down there. However, I soon realized that the cold weather was too much for me to handle. Regardless, before my departure, I found myself wandering along the roads in search of a warm place that was open 24 hours. As I strolled, a truck pulled up beside me, and 2 men kindly offered me a ride. Without hesitation, I accepted their offer. Unexpectedly, they informed me that they needed to attend to something quickly, but promised to return shortly. Trusting their words, I agreed to wait. The darkness fell and the temperature dropped. I decided to continue on foot as it became increasingly uncomfortable to remain there. After approximately 15 minutes, the men returned and pulled up beside me, urging me to get in the truck. As I turned to face them and prepare to step inside, they suddenly grabbed my shoulders and forcefully pulled me into the vehicle. A sense of panic washed over me, and an inner voice urged me to escape from the truck, as it was evidently unsafe. In that moment, I turned to the only thing I knew, prayer, and entrusted my safety to God. It was then that I heard a change in their plans. Instead of driving me to Walmart as originally intended, they revealed their intention to take me to their apartment. Remarkably, it was at this point that the voice seemed to take over, transforming my own voice into that of a deep and powerful man's. Stepping out of the truck, I bid the men farewell, expressing gratitude for the ride in a masculine tone. I spoke loudly, emitting a hearty laughter, and confidently walked away from them. The two men appeared hesitant to approach me. Once I had reached a safe distance, my voice returned to its usual range. Without hesitation, I made my way to the nearest police station, where I sought refuge and assistance. They provided me with the necessary support, eventually escorting me to a warm and secure hospital, where I could spend the night safely. Once again, I turned to prayer, this time seeking a bus ticket to Florida. Miraculously, my prayers answered once again. I obtained the means to travel to Florida. To this day, I ponder whether the two men perceived me as a man rather than a woman that fateful evening. But whatever came over me, it saved my life.